Joining us today, world-famous attorney, Tony Brookliere. And today we're talking about polygraphs. They're not admissible in court, but why are they so important? That's the question that I want to pose to Tony Brookliere, who, as we all know, had that very, very well-known case lately, Giovanni Ramirez, where his client was actually exonerated for the Brian Stowe beating, based partially on a Jack Tremarco polygraph. Please tell us about it.
Well, when I first met Giovanni Ramirez, his story had the ring of truth to me. I thought he was innocent, but I wanted to verify it. And the way I verify it, if I feel that way, is I go to a polygraph expert, not just any polygraph expert, but Jack Tremarco. There are polygraph experts and polygraph experts. What you want as a defense attorney is to use a polygraph expert that the prosecution and law enforcement has respect for. Tremarco is the ex-FBI polygraph expert, has tremendous experience. The large number of my clients do not pass his test. Okay? If you pass a Jack Tremarco test, I think you're telling the truth. And I've had cases dismissed on the strength of a Jack Tremarco polygraph. What's
so effective about a polygraph? Because it seems as though if you fail one while the police are giving it to you, you're condemned. And you're lying, you're being deceptive because you failed one. But what is the significance of someone passing one?
Well, I think it's very rare. It's very, there's a lot of rumors out there. You can go online and they'll teach you ways. There's some bogus websites that teach you ways to beat a polygraph. But in the hands of somebody like Tremarco, a lot of this is an art. In the hands of somebody like Tremarco, you're not going to beat Tremarco on a polygraph. If you're telling the truth, it's going to come through. That's what I think the most important thing is. I'm sometimes reluctant to ask my clients if they want a polygraph because it's almost like you're challenging them. You don't believe them. I'd prefer the client ask me. Giovanni Ramirez, that's about the second thing he said to me in the first minute. He said, I've been asking them to give me a polygraph. I've never been to Dodger Stadium. I don't even like baseball.
And in that case, we all know, he was really, he had been convicted and sentenced in the media pretty much immediately, right? They were out for blood. They wanted somebody. He kind of fit the mold that they were looking for.
It tells you a lot about eyewitness identification and the reliability of it too, doesn't it?
Because people
that swore that was him.
Yeah. And it turned out that he was
we were able to show where he was by his cell phone records, and then, as you know, they've arrested 2 other people. And on a case that looks, they've arrested 2 other people that are now being prosecuted.
And you and I have talked about this. There is a likelihood that but for Jack Tremarco's polygraph, and of course your great lawyering, this man would have been wrongly convicted.
Well, they never filed a case. It wasn't the mistake that was made. I know what happened. The mistake that was made was that somebody from LAPD called the press too soon, and they kind of put the chief in a box. He got cornered. And maybe he talked a little too much. I'm sure he wishes he hadn't, but I don't think there was anything venal about what anybody did.
Right.
I happen to know that some of the Northeast detectives were not happy that it had worked out this way.
That's the truth about polygraph. Wild about trial. Certain things you need to know. It is important that all of us are armed with this information.